there wasn't such a thing as hockey cards. There was just write-ups. My first write-up was about when I was going to school, and I wrote an essay about Peter Kennedy. He played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So what you might want to do is go into the record books and see who Peter Kennedy is. He was the captain of you can find out. Okay,
the captain
of Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, Stanley Cup winners.
What kind of leader did you try to be?
Leader, I would try to be someone that led on the ice and in the dressing room when required, and to be tactful with my teammates and make sure that if I could be helpful in any way to them or their families. And also it's important to continue to have a good image when you're out in public, etc.
You played with and against a lot of hockey Hall of Famers and a lot more amazing players. Who do you think was the hardest to play against?
Well, when I played in the old 16 league, there was 6 teams times, say, 16 hockey players, 17 hockey players. So there was only roughly 100 hockey players all the league as compared to 30 teams now with 25 players or more signed. So there was basically 3 lines and about 5 defensemen, and you had to be a good hockey player to make it in the old 16 league. And if I look at all the players that I played against in junior, semi-pro, when I played in the minors and the NHL, I would say that Bobby Orr was the most talented and would still be. Bobby Hull was the most exciting. And you have a chance to look that up. And Gordie Howe was probably the greatest player in terms of longevity, meaning he played till he was 50 years old and scored over 20 goals one year as a 50-year-old playing for the Hartford Whalers. And to me, that signifies you have to be lucky, but you have to be great strength, great tenacity, great mental strength. So when you grow up, maybe we want to have a combination of those things: mental strength and continuity. It's very, very important.
Who is the toughest goalie to score?
I found them all tough. Because going back to the 16 league, you had 6 goaltenders: Glenn Hall, Terry Sawchuk, Johnny Bauer. It went on, and you only had 6 teams, so you only had 6 goaltenders, and they played all 70 games. Because basically, you're as good as your last game. If you didn't play, somebody else would be in there. So they had tremendous goaltenders. If you have a chance, you ask your dad to go on the website and see if he can come up with a picture of Terry Sawchuk that Sports Illustrated had for all the cuts he had on his face, and he looks like something from the Dracula. He had cuts. He must have hundreds on his face. There you are. No goal and no mask. Good questions.
Who was your favorite hockey player growing up?
I think appreciation for many, because by the time I started playing junior, you had, I think Bellables were starting to break in, but it was all the all-timers that I eventually ended up playing against, from Terry Sawchuk, Bill Gadsby, Marshall Pronovo. I played against them, but I played them with Toronto, New York, Boston, and they were great teammates and they were great players.
How did you feel about presenting Henderson with his captain's jersey?
Well, I felt very honored. In terms of who was going to be captain, they sort of kept it under wraps very well, and they were very good in keeping it to a secret. And come the opening game, I had a bit of an inkling who it might be, but in any case, for them to appoint Henrik as captain, I thought was very, very apropos in that he was Hart Trophy winner, scoring leader, and he's paid his dues here in Vancouver. But he came in as an 18-year-old, he and Daniel. I looked at them the other day in a picture from the draft, and I couldn't believe they looked like, well, they were just teenagers. And anyway, it's phenomenal to see them doing so well.
What was the highlight of your career?
My highlight was meeting my wife. See that? That's called showbiz. That might come on the air sometime, and I want to make sure she gets that first. The highlight in my professional hockey was the day I stepped on the ice at Madison Square Garden with New York Rangers. And I was getting over the boards. I was playing with, I can't remember, maybe Prentice and Bathgate, and I was waiting to get for a centerman to come off, and Bobby Hull lost the stick, and he took the stick out of my hand. Can you imagine that? Thief, Madison Square Garden. I chased him. Give me back my stick.
How do you feel being the first Canuck into the Ring of Honor?
Again, I felt as honored being the first captain as being the first inductee into the Ring of Honor. There are only 2 jerseys hanging, and rightfully so, to an extent. Smeal and Trevor Linden. And Marcus Naslund is going up in December. I think he's coming back for that, and that'll be very nice to see. But to have only 3 jerseys up there after 40 years is just a little disappointing to me. There's so many good players that have been here. Kirk McLean, I feel, should be up there as on his jersey because tailing the Stanley Cup. But in any case, I'm very happy to be honored to be the first inductee. It's really, it makes it worthwhile staying here in Vancouver.
Do you have any of your old hockey gear?
No, I do not, because when I retired, I went coaching in Seattle for the Canucks. And in those days, the collectors bought those. They bought them from trainers, and we never did see them. That was it.
What advice would you give to someone my age?
If you're playing hockey, just enjoy it. What happens now is that when you get to be 12 years old, there's going to be all kinds of, hope your parents don't get this way, but parents think at 12 and 13 that their kids are going to be NHLers, and they put all kinds of pressure on these kids. So I hope your mom and dad have some common sense, Dad, that if you're a good hockey player, that you just enjoy the game, and if you're going to be in the NHL, you're going to be there anyway. I can tell you, all the good players I played with and coached in the NHL and the minors, the good ones get there anyway. It doesn't, if you get good coaching, it helps, but it just seems the good Lord has given all of us individual skills, and I wish you well, and you and your brother, that we see you in the NHL. On your own.
Did you like fighting?
No, but at the same time, I gotta say I get into half of my fights in the schoolyard with bullies, and I still don't like bullies. And on the ice, the odd time, tempers come up and different things. And in the old 16 league, you had to have some common sense and use some discipline that you didn't get stupid penalties. I never had more than 100 minutes in penalty box, wherever I played. So I hope that is criteria for players, is that to get 300 or 400 minutes, everybody has a different viewpoint. It's not big on my agenda to have that many minutes and have many stupid penalties. That's just my opinion.
Do you think fighting sports should still be part of hockey?
I think it's an outlet as compared to a lot of the Europeans that came over. I think in terms of our teams playing against the European teams going back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, is that they didn't fight, but that they would slash people in the back of the legs, they would spear people, and in our hockey, somebody does that to you, you drop the glove and say, don't do it again, or we're going to go out. So it's a different criteria and a different moral value. So I'd like to think that the moral values that we have in Canada, that continues, and that some of the penalties that I see, I'm not very happy. Back checking and things like that. People putting people first on the boards. There's a moral obligation that you treat your fellow teammates well, but also your people that you're playing against, even so that they don't get injured, and that you have that on your conscience when you're finished playing.
How much do you think fighting's changed from when you retired to now?
The fighting has changed in that when I played, it was, as I mentioned, there would be something happening and people dropped the gloves, went at it, you went to the penalty box, 5 minutes, continue on your business. Now, the game has changed in that you have players that come off the bench purposely looking for a fight, and whatever the reason. And I don't like it. I don't agree with it. It goes on, but hopefully some of it changes. I don't think so. But I don't like seeing things like that. I think the game is one of endurance, one of first of all, to be able to play hockey, you have to be able to skate. So you have to have great abilities, and I think it's important that it also up in the head, brains, hand-to-stick coordination, and I think it has to do with hockey's a game of finesse, and I love it, and I don't like to see some of the things that happen. Okay? You just took my soul right out of me. I never said that. You got out the best in me.
I think that's it.
Well, you've done some good questions. Good for you.
Thanks.
And you did this all on your own? Did you have any help?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, when I think guidance at the right time is good. So, congratulations. I'm sure you're going to be a great reporter if you're not a hockey player. All right. Good luck.
Well, I've got these hockey cards for them.